Great sunrise, family. Welcome, all. Welcome, one and all. And I hope all is well with you as it is with me. So lately, I'm thinking about opening back up some of my old videos, but lately I've been trying to revamp my messages so that it can be like something that goes into the mind and a big bright light starts to shine full of knowledge and kind of like breathing in fresh pure air into the body, and it instantly awakening your senses and allowing the body to be energized. That's what that's what I would like to happen. And I don't care about being perceived as a racist, because let me explain this. Let me explain this. Um, when racism is used against me and my people, it bounds us or bonds us. So I'm using racism to free us, to liberate my people. See, everything has its bad connotation, understanding, and everything has its good understanding. So racism can be used to our benefit. This is why I say it can be used to our benefit. Before I say that, I think it's important that I did this video first before I start the video I'm planning on Friday. That way you can clearly get what I'm trying to say without allowing the mundane racism to cloud your getting of knowledge. Okay. So where racism is being used and why it's being used, it's been used to benefit another group of people. In a whole entirely different world than where the world that the racism has been held against a particular people. This world is so different than the world of those who utilize racism upon us. And I hope that's clear. I say that because your mind determines your world. And our minds are two different minds. People normalize and try to say everybody's everybody and everybody's the same, but that's far from the truth. Biologically, we're worlds of difference. What makes it complex is the intertwining of the worlds, the connecting of the worlds. And this is where we get people who say all skin folks are not kin folks. And this is true. because all it does when we mix amongst each other is causes the stronger people to become the weaker people. That's all it does. In nature, you have the stronger people and then you have the weaker people. I like to think of it as a way of learning. Everything is to learn from. We say there's good people and we say there's bad people. What's the difference in saying a stronger people and a weaker people? So we know that this is to be a scientific fact. We get racism from that because the people have went through science and they have recognized that particular people with a particular genetics are the stronger people. And they went further and said, well, these people tend to have this, they tend to have biologically color in their skin. They tend to be Negroid. Then they went further and said, well, let's convolute it. Let's mix it up. Just like they mixed up the map and made upper seem like it's downward and the south seem like they made the north seem like it's up and the south down. So they made the Negroid people be the weaker people and the ones who weren't Negroid be the stronger people. This is what we know as racism for our group of people in our world. So you can call me racist because I'm trying to undo that programming to uplift my people and to put us in our truth. In our truth. So there's nothing wrong with that. But for those who want to oppress or suppress this type of message, they would call it racist. They would call the liberation the opening of the mind, the breathing life into what was destroyed, trying to rebuild, will be considered racist. So, in understanding all of that, which is very critical, know that some people that look like me would even say themselves that I'm racist. And that's okay. This is where they this is where they get the term all skin folks are not kin folks, which I have a problem with because those people just lack knowledge. They just lack critically thinking or having that light bulb on or being able to see the light within themselves. But it's truth in that. It's a lot of truth in that. It depends on, as a group of people and from a different world, if you're in this world and your acceptance of this world, or are you in your own true world? Are you living in your truth? Because some of us don't live in our own truth, and some of us, under no circumstances, will ever live in our own truth. Some of us love the world that we're in, even though it oppresses them, because they don't know any other way. They don't go within themselves. They don't know to go within themselves. They just think that they're just another different color than, but the same beast. They just think of themselves as the same. And that's been programmed into us in this world that is not our world. Okay? I'm just going to put it like that. It's been programmed into us. And this is why we get people, a lot of the Black people, Nubian people that we see on the television. I already know not to give them attention because I know that they're going to be against me. I know they're going to always be against me because look who they side with. The people who have the power, artificial power, I might add, because they don't have it naturally, but they do use their natural animal instinct to gain it. See? That's the difference between them and us. In case you didn't notice, which is so evident within this world. I don't see how anyone can miss that, but many people do. And they come to me and say, I don't believe in all that. The them and us. And that's fine. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Because the ego would say it's not. The ego would say people have to think like me. No, we don't allow the ego. We try not to, we fight against that ego because you want everything to organically happen. Organically happen. That's the best way for everybody to naturally balance, naturally come on board the mothership. Naturally. You got to want it. You got to experience. You got to see it for yourself. You got to experience. You see what I'm saying? This is why I truly get when we come here and we're on a path. We have a mission when we're born, and we have, like I said, a path that we're upon. It can be, we can go the right way or we can go the wrong way. It doesn't make a difference. We're learning. We're experiencing this life. But the most important thing is to know about this animal mind. If we look at those who oppress us, you can learn a lot from them. You can learn a lot from nature. You can learn a lot from this world that we're in. And then at the same time, find our world that we're supposed to, our proper place we're supposed to be in. And empower ourselves. You see, the animal mind, we see how that works. We see how that works really well. Our experiences here, the things we seek to change outside of ourselves from happening, I want to say we can change it, but then we can't. And what I'm meaning by that is we can change the perception of it within ourselves. That's what I think I mean by that. So, but we can't necessarily change it from outside of us. We have the power, and by me saying we have the power, the God power and abilities to work together, the Nubian man and the Nubian woman, to make our magic, make our dreams here, or manifest our dreams into the physical. By recognizing the difference of who we are here, we're not of the animal mind. We have to come out from the animal mind to be liberated. And what I mean by that is instinct, natural instinct is when we look at those that oppress us and control the world, we see that they're utilizing their natural instinct, their natural animal instinct. What does a lion do? What does a wolf do? What does a bear do? Well, a bear will attack you before you can attack it. When he sees you, a possum will attack you before you can do anything to it when you corner it. Animals have to kill to eat. They can't control that. They cannot control that. We were given the ability to be balanced and at peace with everything around us as a people. In case you didn't pick that up, in case you didn't notice that difference in yourself, you don't just randomly go out as a Nubian person, a Negroid person seeking to kill, to oppress, to subjugate, to cage. No, these are environmental things that you have learned. And probably also mixing that we have going on, genetic. It may have become your genetics as well. Unfortunately, it's sad to say, but it happens. It happens. And so being in this world, being environmentally influenced, to be of the animal mind, to say, I need to eat meats, I need to kill other things to survive, learning about focusing on survival, being made to focus on survival. That's what happened. That's what slavery was. Slavery was bringing you down to, well, under the Europeans, of course. It should be crystal clear what that was. That was bringing you down, beating you down to the level of an animal. That was giving you, indoctrinating you with the animal thinking for survival, preparing you in the Americas to be the animal who needs to live off of its instincts of survival. Now, that can be undone, and it should be undone. But again, people would say that's racist. Anything you're trying to do against racism is racist. You might as well get used to that. So, when you come out from your needs and you start recognizing that you have this power, this ability to manifest, that means you come out from religion, you come out from the things that are controlling you, that bring you to the mundane level. You shouldn't want to be on a mundane level. It's boring there because it's nothing but the same thing over and over again. That's what religion is. You go and you dealing with deities. You're not dealing with the true self creator, because yes, you are a god. You are a god. You are a god. You are a creator. And not a god in the sense of the European, of course. This, you got to, like I said, two different worlds. We have totally two different worlds, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. When you start chemically mixing the two and confusing things, that's when I have a problem with. Because I have a problem with that, because you're bringing it back down to an animal level that it doesn't need to be on. And you're causing the world to be in an imbalance. So we no longer have clean, clear, crisp air to breathe in and energize and strengthen our cellular bodies. We no longer have the earth functioning in the way that it's supposed to function, because we want to confuse things and take up people who are supposed to be sacred. See, this is why we have monks. They pull out a few people who want to be powerful, and those few people are able to do things with the mind, right? So that's where we need to be. That's what we were. That's what we are. But the ones who control the world or are being utilized by some deity, by some thing that's outside of the true overall balancer of the planet, has infiltrated and is utilizing beings on this planet to suppress the true gods and goddesses from naturally functioning But they can only do that with our participation. That's the whole test of it all. When we come out of our goddamned minds, goddamned minds, and we change back into our own world, our own minds, which is extraterrestrial, then will the power be seen of balancing out the earth, setting things the way it's supposed to be, and having a functional planet. Destruction comes from the animal mind. It comes from the animals, the lower self. You might say, well, we have people that look like us that are out here killing, stealing, and destroying now. And like I said, that's environmental. And those are the people we want to know. We want them to get this knowledge that they have to learn, they have to come out of that. They have to stop feeling like they have to go out and rob, because economically we've been controlled by man in our environments, in our way of trying to live. We're trying to seek life. That's not the right way to still kill and destroy. But that's all the animal mind knows, is to kill, steal, and destroy. So we understand that the animal mind is what makes people kill, steal, and destroy, because the mind is controlled by natural instincts, thus controlled by man. If we are humans, then we are controlled by man. If we're extraterrestrial, then we're controlled by the God within ourselves. See, that's the choice, the decisions we have laid out there for us. You can either be religious, live mundane, same boring thing over and over again, or else we can come out, recognize the power within us, and manifest without stealing, killing, destroying. Or we can continue on the path of the animal mind. We can mix and mingle and continue to think that we're all the same. That's a choice. We have to suffer the consequences of those choices. We can accept our God status and make magic happen for ourselves in our lives, in relationship, We have to stop thinking that it is controlled by this world. Our relationships are not controlled by this world. We actually have ancestors that work for us. Mine have. My ancestors have really truly been working for me. They watched over me, and this ain't not ancestor worship by no means. This is recognizing that those ancestors are within you, and it behooves them to work for your better good because they are part of yourself, part of your body. And it's very important that we recognize this and live by it because it's being in tune with what the connection is with you and the planet. Balance. The mate will come. What happens is the interference of man and woman coming together is the animal instincts. The first thing the Nubian woman thinks about and the Nubian man thinks about is sex. How good is the sex? When all of that is already taken care of for us, that perfect mate for you has already been taken care of. We just get caught up in the world of the animals kingdom. We get hung up on looks. We get hung up on various different things that are not traditional to our nature as a people. We like to think it is, but to be extraterrestrial, it really isn't. Those are mundane things. So if you want to fly above, you have to come out of this lower thinking and fly high. Fly high. And with that said, I hope the light came on. So always remember true love, real peace, and the higher self within your soul. Till next time, peace.